RV camping comes in all sorts of flavors. Resorts, parks, national or state parks, or the wild, off-grid boondocking. Which style fits your adventure? Are you a resort? Do you like to be pampered? Or do you like to go off-grid? Do you like to be pampered in a resort? Or do you like to go off-grid, where you're by yourself and you have the challenges that it takes to go boondocking? Hey, by the way, I'm Chuck with Lake to Lake. Glad you're here to watch. Well, let's get started. Here we go. All-inclusive amenities, the resorts. We just got back from a KOA. It was a holiday, so it wasn't the top-end resort, but it was pretty nice. And let me tell you something about the resorts. RV resorts offer luxury features. I just got back from a KOA. It was a holiday. It wasn't their top-of-the-line resort, but it was really nice. It had full hookups. It had a swimming pool. It had a clubhouse. It had a putt-putt. It had a fishing lake. It had pedal go-karts. It had cabins. It had tents. You could stay in tents that were air-conditioned. Fitness, laundry. And you know the best part about it was, in the clubhouse, they made pizzas. You could order pizza, and they'd deliver it to your campsite. You could get pizza. You could get firewood and ice delivered to your campsite. Plus, they would pick up your trash. You just set it out by the street. They'd come and pick it up for you. Now that's resort. The other thing about the resorts, they generally have activities. They generally have activities for kids. They have game nights, dances, movies, and of course, adults, we trickle in and watch the movies too. It's not unusual for them to, over the weekends when the campsites are full and things are active, they do things. They may have a trip to a museum scheduled, or there may be an activity going on in the city, and they may provide transportation to that back and forth. And the best part about it is there's family-friendly activities and people. Everybody's looking out for everybody. If somebody's driving too fast down one of the campsite roads, you got everybody yelling at them to slow down. And you know what? That's what I like about family-oriented camping or RV camping. So it's perfect. A resort like the one we stayed in is perfect for seniors, perfect for families, solo travelers, or you know what? If you just need to stop overnight as you're on your way to somewhere else, it's perfect. They'll deliver a pizza to you. You can hop in the swimming pool, get refreshed, and get a good night's sleep and move on. That's the advantages of resorts. Plus, there's a little bit of peace of mind there. The resort we were in, it wasn't gated, but you had to go through a security checkpoint to get in. Now, you could exit on another point that wasn't gated, or there was not a security guard there. But, you know, to get in, you had to go through the security guard. The grounds were well maintained, mowed, kept clean, no weeds. It was very nice. A lot better than the Corps of Engineers park I was at about a month ago. They needed a lot of upkeep, mostly mowing. And the other thing about a resort like the KOA we stayed in, they maintained quiet hours. And they had a security guy that drove around about every 30 minutes that just drove. I mean, if he saw trash, he'd stop and pick it up. You could flag him down, ask a question, but he just drove the park about every 30 minutes. And then in the evening, I think he might have only been going by every hourly, but there was somebody there all night long driving around, or somebody there on site, I guess what I'm saying. State or national parks. You know what? You know what the best thing about a state park is? It's general, in Kansas, it's on a lake. And when you have a lake there, you have things to do. You can go fishing. You can go swimming. You can just enjoy the lake. You can see the sunset or sunrise over the lake. What more can you ask for? Every state park that I've been to or national park, there's always hiking trails. There's nature trails. There's things to do. There's bike paths to go on. There's museums to visit. There's points of interest within the park. And the game wardens or the park people that work at the park, they're very personable people. They'll help you. They'll give you ideas. They'll tell you what you can't do. If you got any questions, ask them. It's simple. And the other thing about it is it's an outdoor experience. You don't have the hustle and bustle of cars going by all the time, or you're not next to a highway making noise. It's peaceful. You're back to nature, so to speak. And for the most part, it's quiet. Occasionally, you get somebody that's a little loud and out of control. But for the most part, the state parks that I've been to, they've been good. They've been very. State parks offer some of the most amazing landscaping you'll see. In Kansas, pretty much all the state parks are on a lake. Where on a lake you have fishing, you have boating, swimming, kayaking, canoeing. You have either sunsets or sunrises, usually over the lake. Beautiful scenery. It's peaceful. It's nature-minded. I mean, the ones I've been to, they try and really put you in amongst the trees. It's not resort type where they mow everything down, and it's getting back closer to nature. And when you wake up and hear the birds in the morning, or the birds at night, or the frogs or the crawdads or whatever, it is peaceful. Generally speaking, the state parks have electric and water hookups and a dump station. And they generally have bathhouses. And you know what? The bathhouses are generally a little bit aged, but they're clean. They keep them clean. And if you're in a state park, you have access to the hiking and any activities that are related to the state park that you're in. You don't have to pay an extra fee to get in because you've already paid the camping fee. So therefore, you buy one, you get something free. Generally speaking, there's historical sites. There's some type of history related to the area, and you can go on an interactive tour, or there'll be place cards set up where you can walk down a trail and learn about some of the history of the area that you're in. Gives you something to do. Gives the kids something to do. Kids, they really like learning. I'm a senior citizen, so I take my grandson, and he loves it. We walk, we read the placards, and we talk about them and have a nice conversation. Can't beat that. I'm telling you. Anytime you can get your grandkids interacting with you, that's a plus in my book. And again, state parks are generally very affordable. We buy a season pass for 14 days, and so we pay an additional. I think it's $7. No. I'm sorry, we pay an additional $10 a day for electric and water. That's a pretty cheap price. When you're in the $25 to $30 range for a night stay, that's pretty reasonable. It's hard to beat that price. Boondocking. Boondocking, where you get to go off grid, you get to go out by yourself. You got to have the resources. You got to have power. You got to have food. You got to have water, and you got to have a way to get there, and you got to get back in, and you got to be a little bit of self-sufficient. And you have to monitor your resources that you're using. Your tanks only fill up so much. You only put so much water in that tank, or so much stuff in the black tank, if you know what I mean. So you got to manage your resources, and it's challenging. Let me tell you what. That's all I have to say. Boondocking is challenging, but it's generally quiet. Sometimes boondocking is quiet. You get to pick your spot, and you can pick your spot where you're out in the middle of nowhere, away from everyone, and all you can see is desert and a mountain, or whatever. So it's quiet. And you'll be amazed how quiet can be. And you'll be also amazed how dark can be. Because you'll look up and you'll see a lot more stars than you do in the city. And if you want true freedom, going boondocking out on BLM land, that's it. Because you're out there, nobody knows what you're doing, nobody cares what you're doing, and your time is yours. You're not bound by, I got to check out by certain time, or I got to get in by such time. Your time is yours when you're boondocking. Plus, it's free. No campground fees. Nope, nothing. So, It's ideal if you're traveling cross country and you can get 3 or 4 nights on your destination trip for free. Can't beat that. I mean, even state parks say $30, 3 nights. That's $90. You know, so if you can take advantage of boondocking on a trip, go for it. Peace, quiet, and cheap. So when you're boondocking, remember, you get to camp for free and live large, and your time is yours. Can't beat that. There's also a sense of adventure when you're boondocking, when you're driving down that gravel road and you're going to pick out your campsite. It's a sense of adventure. And a little bit of self-reliance. You got to know how to read a map. You got to know how to drive down those roads. Not that they're too difficult. They're pretty safe. Generally speaking, your phone works. You're just close enough to a cell tower that you can get cell service. Remember, you got to rely on your own power, water, waste systems. Your own, you're self-reliant out there. It's just you. You can't go up and get a bottle of water or a pizza because you're out in the middle of nowhere. Again, you learn how to manage your solar, your resources, and everything else that goes along with boondocking. And you know what? You're going to learn a lot about yourself, and you're going to learn a lot about creating things, or how to improvise, or how to make things work, or how to overcome something that you forgot or something that you need. And you know what? It all works out. When you're all said and done, you may not have had a great experience the first time you go boondocking, but you know what? You're going to talk about it. And you're going to say, I'm going to do better the next time. And you're going to get out there and you're going to do it, and you're going to have a blast. And again, it's a great way to learn new skills and learn about things out of nature that you've never seen. When you sit on a boondocking site for 7 days or 6 days or however many days, you're going to see things and you can experience things that are right underneath your nose that you didn't know were there. You don't get that in a campsite. You don't get that in a park, state park or national park. You don't get that at a resort. But when you're sitting there and you see a dirt pile and you watch that for 3 or 4 days, and then all of a sudden you realize that there's a huge spider living in there. It's just something you learn. And you might have seen those piles, dirt piles, for years and never known what it was. But you'd be there 3 or 4 days watching that thing, and pretty soon you see that spider come out. Now you know what that dirt pile's all about. So tell me, which one do you like? Resort camping, where everything is provided and they baby you and you have all the amenities that you can imagine? Or do you like a state park, where they help you out a little bit with electric and water and a dump station and bathhouses? Or do you like boondocking, where it's just you and or me, myself, and I, or whatever that little saying is? You're out there by yourself. You got to manage your water, electricity. You got to manage driving and getting there, and the sense of adventure. Which one's up for you? Well, I'll tell you what, they all have a place in my book. Okay, I think that'll wrap it up. Appreciate you watching. And if you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up. If you want, and I would appreciate it if you'd subscribe. It'll help me out. And until we meet around the campfire, y'all take care now. Bye-bye.